Okay, well here goes. We're just about to cast off, push Lulu into the water. I cannot tell you how nice it is to actually stop calling her the Lugger. I've known what her name's been for about, I don't know, a couple of weeks maybe now, and we were just letting the name sink in. So yeah, it's been quite frustrating not being able to tell everybody what the name was, and I hope the ceremony went well. So like, I had no choice really. I can't really get down here most days, so I hope my little speech will appease the gods. And then the bottle did crack on the first attempt, but didn't smash, but it wholeheartedly smashed. I've cut my finger and it won't stop bleeding, so I tried to pick up all the bits. So we're going to cast off, going to get this rope sorted, and we're going to go for our maiden voyage. We are sailing. That jib needs to unfurl a little bit more, but I'm going to sort that in a minute. We've got the mizzen out, we've got the main up, the motor's up. I bashed my finger so hard, my fingernail, when I was trying to get that motor up. I motored out and decided to sail a bit too close to one of the boats, so had a mad panic to get the motor back in. And bashed my finger in the panic, so I'm gonna have a nice black fingernail, I think, this time tomorrow. So yeah, we're looking good. This is our maiden voyage. See the green branch on the bow of the ship? Just needs to be on the deck for good luck. And to be frank, there's not much wind at all today, and she's moving. So yeah, this is all right. I can live with this. This is looking good. Just need to get that jib out further, because that's not working for me at all. So at the moment I had a problem I've sorted with the furler. That furler just gets stuck all the while. The top's unfurled, so I figure it's unfurled now. We won't need to touch that for a little while. And what I'm going to try and do is, the wind is supposed to be coming that way. I've got to just check my phone. Now I've sorted everything out. I've cleated the main because I don't think we're going to have any problems with the main. And I'm just going up the lake now. She's a big old girl. She needs a bit of a breeze to push her. Oh, but you tighten that mizzen up, you feel it. But we are sailing. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Got to keep drinking on a day like today, and got to put the suntan lotion on, which I've been forgetting and getting a bit sore. But today I slapped it on. Haven't got as much hair on the head as I used to, which is why I wear a cap when I'm out like this now. But I put a bit of that on the top anyway. The only trouble is, when you put it on your forehead and the top of your head, when you sweat, it goes in your eyes, and it's awful. It really stings. Right, seem to be under control. So let's have a look at the wind. So the wind's supposed to be coming southeast, you know, so from over there. By putting the camera in that general direction, so we can do some quite good beating on this sort of angle. But what I might do is sharpen the, or not sharpen the angle up, come off the wind a little. You see Boy B above there. Oh, hopefully we won't upset this seagull too much. Come off the wind a little bit, and we'll do some tacking. See a swimmer in the water right in the middle of the lake. I'm all for swimming and whatnot, but they're so hard to spot sometimes. You know, we're all on the lake to have fun and relax, and the swimmers really need to stay inshore if possible. But there we go. I don't think I'm going to really do too much harm to a swimmer in this, doing like 3 knots, 3.5 miles an hour. And that's what we're doing at the moment. Oh, sorry fella, bit too close. We're doing 3.6 miles an hour. When we get on the sea, we're going to have to start talking knots and nautical miles because it's just the way it is. But I use miles an hour just because I figure that's what most people can equate to in their head when I'm talking about speed. But a knot isn't much more than a miles an hour, really. I could use kilometers an hour, but then I'm British, so we use miles an hour here. We're kind of weird here. We use miles an hour, but then we sort of use meters. I'm of that generation that was brought up in the decimal era. So that's kind of why I do it. I think kilometers an hour would be cheating. You'd just be thinking you're going way faster because it, you know. So yeah, we're doing about roughly three miles an hour. Let me just change that to knots. It's 2.4 knots. But if we come off the wind now, let's have a go at coming off the wind. It's great that you can leave the, you can sort of, cleat the main, because if you cleat the main in the mirror at any speed, at any wind, then you're asking for trouble. But in this, even now, this limited experience, it's quite obvious this boat isn't going to go anywhere in this weather. I probably wouldn't cleat it, you know, if things got a little bit more leery. So yeah, we're doing 2.7, 2.8 knots now, which is it's got to be more than that. It's saying 3 miles an hour. Oh, it's because we've just come back into the wind, which should be about 3.6, 3.7 miles an hour. Yeah. Oh yeah, we dropped a little to come back in the wind. Just trying to miss this swimmer. But this is nice, it's very leisurely. Very leisurely indeed. I'm enjoying myself so far. There's a massive transporter plane coming over. I think I've videoed this before. Comes over from time to time. Might just be able to make it out. It's turning and it's going to be coming right over us. I was going to get the drone out today, but I've got it with me in the boat, but I am wondering with all these aircraft everywhere. I'm thinking not. There we go, look. Slow but sure. Gosh, that's coming low. That was so low, I could see men standing in the back. It looks like the back door was sort of open and I could see guys just stood there. I felt like I could touch it. That's incredible. I think we got a little bit stuck there. I felt as we came into here, I felt the wind just go. The sails just went. And I tacked and then we kind of stood still, but we've just picked the wind up a little bit again here. Well, there we go. I can feel some wind now. As soon as you catch a gust, this boat does like to move. There you go. Let's get back on track. We need to go this way a little bit more. It's always hard to work out. The wind is coming from sort of more this direction, but you always have to watch the hills here. You can get caught out by the hills if you get a bit too close. The wind can kind of swirl or die. So when it's coming that way, you're much better on this westward tack, easterly tack, should I say, this way. rather than this way. I always feel like I'm almost going back to where I came from this way, although I'm not, because you can see the buoys there. I just think these shrouds are so loose, but I'm told that's the way a Drascombe is. Personally, I'd like to see them a bit tighter. I might go and tighten them up. Important to keep hydrated today. Oh, a lot of that got stuck in my beard then. I've never sailed down the lake this straight, to be frank. So the wind must be coming more, you know, that more east, south westerly than normal. I think I'm going to try and stick in the middle of the lake and just have a nice cruise. But tacking, no problem in this. One thing I have noticed, if things get a little bit slow, there's two things you can do in this boat. First thing is let that mizzen just go. The reason for that is if you think about it, the jib is kind of pushing the boat to leeward, but the mizzen pushes the bow of the boat into the wind. If you think about it like this, around the mast almost. So when you're tacking, that mizzen, I've noticed, especially at slower speeds, can kind of stop you tacking, which is interesting. Does this mizzen give you any more wind going upwind? Don't know, doesn't seem to be, unless I have let it go a few times and it doesn't seem to make much difference. I think downwind it might make some difference, and I think it gives you an options with your sail plan as well. You know, apparently you can heave two with the mizzen and the jib alone, and you can clear the deck, of course, of stuff. Not one of my most exhilarating sails, but we're sailing, and quite frankly, I don't think we'd be going any quicker in the mirror. All alone on the lake. We're all alone on the lake. I've seen, oh gosh, that's better. I've seen about 4 swimmers. Actually, I've seen more swimmers than that today. And I've seen 2 canoers and not much else, to be frank. So stable, this boat. Oh, we've lost the wind though. I think we're going to tack. Let's see if I can do a tack, because I don't have to worry about the main sheet. So when I tack, oh, the second thing I was going to tell you about is, look, if you look when we're tacking, I leave the jib sheeted back as if you're heave toing like that, and it pushes the bow round, so the jib's more powerful. So when you know you've come round, then you can bring the jib back where it should be. Don't like those cleats. Main seems to look after itself. It's getting caught on, yeah, it's getting caught at the moment. Don't know whether this is a good idea, this system with the strings, but let's see if we can, yeah, don't know. We'll have jury's out on that one. I think it might be more useful when you're on the sea and you can just set your sails. I also think the little putting the tape around the ring there, if you can see, to stop it making a noise, hasn't really worked. I think it's just making ring stick. And to be honest with you, that scraping noise doesn't really bother me that much. I think once the sails set themselves, I think they're okay. Oh. It's come off. Yeah, there's no wind today. You can see the lake, it kind of goes, it loses its chop and it goes into this weird mirrory sort of, it's quite mesmerizing. I'll be diving in a minute under the spell of the mermaids. and then it will just go glass. But you can see a little breeze up there, but now we're backing. Yeah, we're kind of backing again. Yeah. The wind here can be very challenging. See, we're coming round. We're coming about. Yeah, we're going to run out of ground here if we're not careful. Because it's not got much room to re-tack. So I'm actually drifting. I actually stopped too well. And I'm actually doing a little reverse trick with the Mizzen for a minute. Oh, we're flapping a little now. You can see we're reversing and I'm steering. And I'm just looking for the bottom. I just put the anchor in about 10 meters further out, maybe not even that. And I've got 9 meters plus 3 or 4, and they couldn't reach the bottom. And this anchor's actually really heavy, this grapple anchor. 3.2 kilos. So I think here's about right. So let's drop it again. I'll try and drop it with one hand. Don't want to try and find the bottom. I'm just using this spare line I've got for now. Aha, we've got the bottom. Because we are drifting into shore now. So just stick it in there. That'll do us, and hopefully it'll bring us to a stop soon. This orange line is very, very stretchy. It's floating, stretchy rope. So we will move on it a little, but we have come to a stop. And we're actually drifting bow into the wind now. Where have we gone? There we go, and we're down there. So this rope's pretty useless. I don't think there's much chain on the bottom, so we're really relying on the grapple to secure us. Yeah, we're stopped because we've been floating very slowly but surely into here. I didn't know how beautiful this little spot was actually. It's beautiful here. I've never actually stopped here. We got off the anchor. It was kind of quite easy in the end. I sort of let a little bit of jib out, so we were moving very slowly. And I just lifted the anchor up as we were moving off, and it came down the side of the boat. But once it was off the bottom, all I had to do is make sure the boat wasn't drifting back. So yeah, dangers of a lee shore there, I guess. I'm now trying to reach down the back up the lake, but as you can see, there's just not there's not enough wind to just shape the sails. I mean, look. This is everything's out, look, and there's no wind to put shape into the sails even, so we're just drifting at the moment. I'm kind of happy to just sit here and enjoy myself, to be honest with you. It's beautiful just being on the lake, chilling out, to be honest with you. I've needed it. Whoa, look at that. It's like Top Gun. Eat your heart out. There is no one better at flying a plane than Maverick. He's the best. Oh, wow, the big bertha is back. It literally looks like it's coming into land on this lake. I just packed up all the sails and of course the winds suddenly come out. But I thought it was time for a row, so I've got the centerboard down, I've got the rudder sort of centered as best I can. I'm actually using those things there to do that. All the sails are actually away. I can actually pack the boat up like this. I'm going to get the oars and have a row. There you go. Let's get the oars out. I think the oars are a bit too far back on this boat. We're going to have a little row. We're going to row back. Now, last time I rowed this boat, it was a bit hectic. And I was against the tide. And I haven't had really that much experience of rowing. I don't really like rowing, if the truth be told. Oh, hang on, it's this one, isn't it? I don't like going backwards. And in this boat, when everyone seems to think it rows well, but I can't get it to row straight. Now, I've got the tiller going straight now, and I've got the centerboard down, so it should give me some, you know. But look, you can see now I'm drifting. I think this boat gets windage on the hull. I'm literally only going with this oar here, but it just doesn't want to go. I'm actually doing reverse with that one. Getting us on track a little. So you've got to be really mindful of it. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, you've got to keep yourself, you've got to concentrate actually. But now you might just be able to see behind me. Okay, we've got a little bit of a and we're rowing with the current today. Okay, we're going fairly straight now. Let's get straight again there. I mean, the good thing about rowing is it's free. You can carry oars. It gets you out of the spot, doesn't it? The bad thing about rowing is it's quite a big boat to row this. And it's hard to row, in my opinion. I guess I just like my motor too much. So I'm going to motor back to the mooring now because it's getting fairly late in the afternoon. And, oh, I don't know. There's a breeze. Now I've put the wind. Look at this. I literally have packed everything away and there's a nice breeze. I'm going to go back, because it will take me a little while to get everything set back up. There we are, all moored up. Now I guess this is where that little pin would be useful. Just put the pin back in, it would stop the strop from coming out. So that would definitely work. Here's Muckindi. Behaving herself as usual, she's great. So I'm just going to put a little bit of string around there to lock it off. So you can see all that does is stops this from coming off. That's all you need, just a loose piece of rope, and that can stay there. And we'll bring back our leaves, let's put them on there, and I think we're about ready to go. We didn't get anything in the bilge really. I might just give the bilge a quick pump before we go. Then it's covers on and off we go.